Hello, I'm Earl, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. I've been doing this program for a long time, and I was just telling my guests who you're going to meet that I've interviewed so many people. It's so difficult to remember everyone that you interviewed. This person was on Oral Gibbs Live back in the 1990s, all right? I can't remember what year it was, but he made such an impact on my audience at the time. We did the show on cable TV. We had live calling on Oral Gibbs Live. And when he appeared, man, wow, a lot of people was calling and saying hello to him. So 25 years later, he's back. Mr. Ivan Dappler. How are you doing, sir?
I do it good, man.
How's everything, man?
Hanging in there, man. Retired.
You retired?
Yes, man. Thank God.
So you enjoying it?
I enjoying it, man.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great. You were telling me before we started that you was also on radio, and I couldn't remember you at the time. I was at PG2 for a year when it was up on Foot Amsterdam Hill. And then after you started telling me about the show you're doing, then it all came back.
Yes.
That was a long time ago, too.
That's a long time ago, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And they had a show, another person had a show before me. And when they left St. Martin, they was here on a project.
Yeah.
And when they left, the show was no more. And that hour that was free now, I went to Vance. And I asked him if I could buy that hour to do a show 1 hour with Ivan. And it was on a Saturday, and where I play Caribbean music, and all those. And I never had a guest, but I do my own commercials and my own things.
Yeah.
So he asked me, first thing he asked me, he said, listen, when did you do it? Did you have a radio show in Curacao before? I said, no, man, I never done this before.
Wow.
He said, you just come in here and buy an hour? I said, yes, man, I think I could do it, Then he tell me, you know what? I'm gonna bring T Connection, Tony Smith.
Yeah.
And that was a great help because I never learned it before, and he helped me out and showed me how the things have to go, how the turntable has to be moving, how the speech have to be done. And it was a great help to me. I could say thanks to him that I did that show for a while. And then I quit because some reason that they had changed my show to Wolfman Jack show, something like that.
Oh, Wolfman Jack, I remember that, yeah.
And so he tell me the hour I'm in now, it's not going to be anymore. I tell him, well, I'm not going to do it anymore either because, I had my special day on Saturdays. A lot of people expecting me to be on the show, and now it's no more, so I'm not going to do it anymore. That's how I stopped with my radio show, 1 hour with Ivan on Saturdays night.
Those were those were the days of Wolfman Jack and everything else.
Yes.
Howling and all that kind of nonsense. But Wolfman was good. He was popular.
But I find I was more popular because I had a show go to the third time I did a show.
Yeah.
My life, and I asked the listeners to call in and tell me how my show is because I don't know much about radio. So I said they're gonna teach me. So let me take a crash course by them.
Yeah.
So I asked them to call me and let me know how the show is, what they want me to do in it, what else they want me to start with, if they want me to invite people and all those things. And it was a record.
It's great. It's amazing, man, because I couldn't even remember that. That was so long
That's
ago.
the first time I met you.
Yeah.
When we used to be in the Fort William there by Little Bay.
Yeah, that's where you met me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's amazing because I worked there for a year before going back to America. And I was telling you earlier too, I was the only guy that came to work at PG2 that they didn't have to teach me anything because when I walk in there, I was already on radio in New York.
Okay.
So I knew everything basically, you know. Yeah.
So you knew about what the radio station was about.
Exactly, right. Okay. You've done a lot. I want to go back a little bit because a lot of people watching the show now are listening to us on Hot 99.9 FM because the show is on YouTube, Facebook, and on our radio station, Hot 99.9 FM radio. Some of them never heard about you. They're youngsters, Others do recall meeting you or even seeing you on that show we did back in the 1990s. But where you originally from?
Curacao. I arrived in St. Martin in 78 in June on a beautiful day. It was raining. And I was invited by my brother.
A beautiful day and it was raining.
It was raining, man. It was a nice day. And I arrived here, and I really came here because of my brother. My brother his name is Edgar, but they call him here Chiqui, Taxi 12.
Oh, okay.
He invited me because at that time in Curacao, the opportunity for job labor, it was not so thing. So he invited me and said, why don't you come to Martin and check see if you got a job here? So that's how I reached here. Through my brother and Chiqui, Taxi 12, and I reached in St. Martin to look for a job, to do better. And when I reached here, it was on a Saturday. Monday morning, I get up. He tell me, why don't you go by Lance Radio? It's a guy there named Louis Gomes. He said to me, I spoke to him before, and I think
that's
you should.
Castel Gomes,
yes. He said, why don't you go and talk to him? Maybe he could help you. That's how I walk into his office on a job Monday morning.
Yeah.
And he said, I really do need a guy here that just quit the job. I need a guy here, but I'll let you meet the technical manager and he will put you to work. I said, that's it? He said, yeah, man, I really need a person. So that's how I came into Lance Radio. And I reached on a Saturday. Tuesday, I was in there. I never left.
Wow.
It took me 35 years to get out of there. Wherever I stayed for 35 years, labor, toiling, at Lance Radio. And from there, I have a whole history, what I went through. And I could say one thing, St. Martin was good to me. Has been and is still today. Because in St. Martin, I make many things. I do many, 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 many things. My education, everything, I got it right here.
Yeah. You recall that interview that we did and the response from the people?
Yes, I remember that, man. I remember a lot of people had called, and one person that called was very important was Mr. Focus. Because when I came here, he used to be the director of Milton Peters.
Right.
Yes, that was a very important call that day when we did that interview that day.
And also Senator Millicent DeWeaver.
Millicent DeWeaver, yes.
Yeah. She called in too.
Yes, many people had called that day too. Maybe they didn't know what I was doing, but that day I find out many people know what I'm doing.
They knew what you were doing, and they really love you, man.
Yes.
Yeah. So you came to St. Martin in 78.
Yes.
That time when you came to St. Martin, I was in America at the time.
Yes.
And I could recall there was a hurricane, and people was telling me how there was a flood in town. Were you at that time too?
Yes, I remember there used to be that supermarket there, SSS?
4S.
Yes.
Yeah, up here of town.
That used to be the pond. Every time it rained, I remember that used to be full up. Yes.
I was born just...
That where utilities used to be.
Right. I was born not too far from there. So I knew that area very well.
Yes.
You know. So you came to St. Martin. You worked at Lance Radio, which became TLM, right, afterwards.
Yes.
So what you were doing at Lance Radio during those days?
When Cristel, like I said, he tell me, let's go, I introduce you to the technical manager and he will help you to put you to work then. That's how he put it. So he went over, we went to the office from the manager, and he introduced me to all the people inside, and Cristel told him, listen, put this guy to work, man. The guy we missing here, put him in this space. But I didn't know what the guy was doing. I didn't ask either. I was glad even that he was complacent to me to give me a job. So after he introduced me to all the people inside, he walked to me outside, and I saw two guys. One was sweeping in the car, one of the company cars, and the other one was spraying with washing the car. And he told me, you're gonna work with those guys? I said, I am. I said, wait a minute, man, let me fix some of these phones, man, Because when I saw what they're doing, I said, well, these guys, they're in the cleaning department, so in the maintenance department. So I said, well, so he said, do you want to work or you don't want to work? I said, yes, man, I want to work. So he said, well, go ahead. those are the guys you're going to work with. And it was a blessing because I met a guy there, an older person, and that was washing the cars. I become very acquainted with him. It was Mr. T from French Quarter, Geoffrey Richardson. He used to own some bars and restaurants on the French side, French Quarter. That was a blessing because he was much older than me, and he guided me, and he showed me how to go around here. Because what I had to do was in the morning when I come from Curacao, you dress up and you go to work. When I reach there, I put on my overall and I get outside there, and I start washing the cars, sweeping the cars. By 9 o'clock, so you sweep the yard, right now they built Central Bank there. But I used to be a whole Lance Radio yard there.
Right.
And I stayed out there for 3 months. Go by Fusanda, man. Fusanda used to be there.
Right.
And you go with the ladies and you buy coffee and stuff. That's the whole day is packed already because in the morning when you come, wash cars, sweep the place, clean the rooms. I did that for about 3 months. Then same Crastel came back. One morning he said, listen, man, I got a job for you. That's what you're doing now. I said, every morning you come, you give me a key to wash your car. So what do you mean what I'm doing? That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? I have a job for you. I said, you do? He said, come see me, man. So I went by him and I saw him. I spoke to him. He said, did you ever work in the storeroom before? I said, no, man. I never done that before. I don't know nothing about that. He said, well, I have a guy here that could guide you into that. That's the time I met Rudy Brooks. Very intelligent guy. And very open. So he said, that guy going to show you how to keep an inventory, how to do administration of the storeroom, because right now we don't have nobody doing that. So that's why Crastel told me that it's best that you learn the materials and do the things you have to do, and Rudy Bruce will guide you through. That was a great help. So I said, Martin, there's a lot of people, to my success, a lot of people did help me. I didn't do this all by myself. I mean, the study, yes. But the most of the things that I done in St. Martin, I get help from anybody. Somebody will come up and I will meet somebody that will guide me and help me out through. And so I started in the storeroom. And then we went, that's how I met Vance, because Vance at the time had a computer part. And my inventory was always done by James' office there in Kursak.
Oh, okay.
That's how I met Vance.
Oh, okay.
That led me to ask him to sell me an hour on the radio station.
Wow.
Because I knew him.
Yeah.
I started there and I stayed in the storeroom for about 2 years. And he told me, why don't we go to the edge, because you're doing this work, but I cannot pay, because in them days, everything go in scale,
Right.
Scale 1 is so much money, and you need to have their diploma or that diploma. And he said, you could do the work, but I cannot pay you. I cannot put you in that scale because you don't have the
degree,
the diploma, anything to put you in there. Because what I had was a getuigenschrift for Heineken, is like an AMA school,
right.
LTS. And but they don't give a diploma for Heineken in Brievengat in Curaçao. After 4 years, they give you what we call a getuigenschrift, like a certificate. It's not even a diploma. So I came when I said, that's all I got, man. I don't know. He said, well, you have to find a way. Take a correspondence course or something, but you have to upgrade yourself. And during that time too, I think I was spent after 5 years in the job. I don't remember it was on the radio or if it was on the newspaper. But I hear that Peace College is going to start even in Marvel. And you should apply because it will start soon. I know what dragged me there, but somehow I reached by Peace College and I applied. I started. And then the first year, my English was so bad. I used to get English from Lambert wife.
Oh, okay.
GB.
Yeah.
She was my English teacher. I had Zandam for my Dutch teacher. I had deceased Van Vliegen. He was my biology.
Which Zandam that was?
Zandam, there's now in station.
Oh, okay.
He was the Netherlands teacher up in Peter College.
Yeah.
I got Netherlands from him. And a lot of people was there before because we was about something like 100 and something students
Yeah.
started with. At the end, I think we was maybe 30
Wow.
or more. The exam day, only time people pass. I was lucky enough to be one of them.
How many? 10 people passed?
Yes, the first time, yes.
Yeah.
That after 4 years. And I was also with, there I got help too because after a year I in the class and I see how bad my English was. I couldn't comprehend that. And I had like a 3 on my report for the year. I said, oh man, this thing is for me, man, you know. It's not easy because you have to go to work in the morning. When you come home, it was from Monday to Thursday, from 7:15 then we go to 10:45 every day. So I said, man, I can do this. But I met, one day I was in we used to go play Zalvoetbal in Multimedia College at that time. We had a Lance Radio, we had a team. And I met, I think her name was Aline Combs. She does do a lot of comedies and play.
Yeah.
It's Aline, I think. Yeah. And she saw me playing ball. She said, what happened, Ivan? Ivan, why you didn't come to school no more, man? I said, man, you know, that thing for me, man. She said, come on, man. That's how I got back in. It was the night she told me that. I said, you know what? I coming back tomorrow, man. She said, come on. That's how I got back in Military College, which I finished after 4 years. Like I said, 10 people had passed, and I was one of them. I found myself was very lucky because after the exam, I knew I passed. I don't know why, but I knew it. I said, man, you passed, man. I said to myself,
Yeah.
and I did. And from there, a man was very instrumental for my education. It was Mr. Focus. He encouraged me. He said, listen, man, what about the 3? So what? Next year you do better, man. I ended up in a voldoende, what you say, a passing mark at the end. That was great. But he was one of the men too that guide me up. Every time I go, because he used to come there at night also.
Right.
And I had time to speak to him. And I go by him and we sit down, we speak. And he said, man, you know, you just have to keep going, man. He encouraged me. And I finished that. And I went to visit, may I go too fast? I went to visit our family members in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, to the U.S., yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
And they were staying close by Savannah State College. And already I in the vision of to go farther. No?
Yeah.
I said, how do you get in that school, man? I asked my friend. He said, why don't you go apply? You go in there and ask them, and they will tell you how to get inside there. I said, okay. I went there and I talked to them. They tell me, yes, here you have to do a SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test.
Yeah.
And we accept here with 950. You'll be okay to enter our school. And what you have to do, when you go back to the island, ask the education department. That time Lynch used to be there. Edgar Lynch used to be in the education department in Back Street.
Right.
The time you ask there, and they will tell you when they will have exam on the SAT. And give them our address, so when you finish, they could send your result to us. That's what I did. And I came back and I went $1 because they tell me about the SAT, right? So I went and buy the book.
So you started practice.
Yes. So let me practice before I take the exam.
Yeah.
And also I went to the education department and asked them when they will be given this SAT. And there where I met Mrs. Benkamper. Mrs. Benkamper used to give us the SAT at Sunday school that time.
That was Jane Benkamper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this lady, yes. And years after, when I talking to Tony Benkamper,
That's
he said, that was my mother. I said, oh man, that's the lady that gave us the SAT exam that day.
Yeah, we've had her many times on this show too before she passed away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And when I opened the SAT book, I said, no man, you ain't that far yet. Because when I saw the algebra and them things, I said,
That's
no.
good.
I said, this is not going to be easy either, man. So what I did, I took a course from PBNA.
Yeah.
I used to give a corresponding course from Holland. And this is where I got myself into the algebra, the wiskunde training, you know, because I said, before I take it, let me start. It took me a year. Before I could, I said, man, I think I'm ready. Let me go take it. And that's the time I took it from Mrs. Benkamper. at Sundial.
Yeah.
It was about maybe 5 months after. The school said, okay, we accept you. And what you need to do now, this is the amount that you need to be deposited in our account for you to attend here. This is the yearly annual that you have to pay.
So tuition was expensive?
Yes, it was 19,000 at that time.
Wow.
But 19,000 includes
Board and everything?
board and everything. And I said, well, okay, I will ask, because I tell I'm working right now for the federal government with Lens Radio. So I'm gonna have to ask for a leave of absence for me to attend school. They tell me, okay, you want to start, and I was 1990. They tell me, well, okay, what you could do, there's to find a financial that you could borrow, whatever you have to do. But we're expecting you in September 1990, because we're going to have you a 2 weeks orientation, and then you will start. I wrote a letter. At that time, again, Crestel Gomes was Minister of Telecommunication at that time.
Yeah.
So I went to him and I talked to him about it. He said, why don't you send a letter and ask for leave of absence? I did that. But in it, I put also that I want to keep some money because I have some children that I supporting right now. And why don't you let me stay with some of my money from my salary, and when I return, I will come back and I will pay the difference.
Oh, you're really tough, man.
So he told me, I don't know about that, but write the letter. So I did. And it was in March, the same year, 1990, I went back with him. I said, listen, man, I'm not getting any response. I wrote my letter since January, February. I said, what about my leave of absence approval? He tell me, when I get your stuff, I will sign them. Don't worry about that. Keep going as you're going. So I went by the education department where I met, what's his name again? That time, Cronenfeld used to be the head of that department.
Yeah.
And we had other, what's his name again? I spoke to him. That was the first time I spoke to him. And I asked him for a scholarship. He said, scholarship? He said, how old are you, man? I said, man, I'm 27 right now. He said, you're 27?
How much you? 37?
I was 27.
Right at the age where they stopped giving scholarships.
Stop giving scholarships. That's exactly what he told me. That's exactly what he said. He said, listen, man, I think you're kind of late with this, no? I don't think you'll be able to get, but anyway, you apply for it, so I'm going to send it in, and then we will, there will be a decision on this, and I will let you know. When I went back with him, he told me, listen, man, 27 we give for masters. We don't give no bachelor thing around here, so I think you have to do something else. Otherwise, you borrow the money, lend the money, and you go and do your stuff, whatever you want to do. But from this department, the law don't permit me to give you any scholarship. I said, okay. That time I said, man, I cannot go, because I don't have the kind of money to be paying for this school, and so I got to stop here. And I used to watch Claude Waddy all the time on TV or his speech.
You see him on the show too many times?
Yes. I said, man, let me go speak to him, man. I went by him. That time, we had the gas station there in Back Street.
Yeah, right.
And then they built that building.
But Engel used to run that. Remember Engel from Croatia? Yeah.
Exactly. And then they built a building there.
Right.
And he used to be upstairs. I walk up there by him. Claude was so, I don't know, by himself. So I knock on the door and I walk in, and I saw we met each other. And I told him what I went through, what I did, and blah, blah. And I told him that I went to the Grace of Palu for a scholarship. And they tell me that my age. He said, you do all of that, and now they tell you, what they tell you? I said, they tell me that the law doesn't permit me to give me anything. He said, how long you been doing this, man? I said, I've been busy with this thing for 7 years now. Because I went to pay scholars first. Then I went to take my course Then I went to take the SAT. I said, here is the letter of the school accepting me to attend. He said, well, the school accept you? He said, well, I'll tell you what. I got to make an exception for you. You really want to do this? I said, yes, sir.
Wow.
He said, okay, I'm going to send you by, that time used to be, the capital used to be Peterson.
Yeah.
Yes. He said, I'm going to send you by her and talk to her.
That's Valerie Peterson.
Valerie Peterson, yes. Very, very nice lady.
Yeah.
She helped me. Like I said, a lot of people did assist me in my. So she said, okay, I'm going to do it. We will get you a scholarship, and you guarantee me that you come back here with a degree. I said, okay, I will do it. That's how I get into Savannah State College, where today is Savannah State University. And I started in September I left. And 4 years after, I got a degree in engineering, electronic engineering technology. And I came back to St. Martin. It was not easy for me to return because during that time too, because I put that my money, that let me keep some of the money that I could support these children until I come back.
Yeah.
My letter of leave of absence was turned down. He couldn't sign that. Carcel couldn't sign that because the money, there's no way that you're going to get leave of absence with money.
Yeah.
That law don't exist. So that's why they turned my request down. When they turned my request down, before I left, I had another problem. Let me go back to that. That I decided I'm going anyway. Because that time, Bill Campbell from Bexley used to be the director by Lance Radio. And he said, well, you cannot leave without absence. You can't just get up and leave. You're Amtonad right here. You're civil servant. You can't just get up and go. I said, look, man, I got a scholarship from the government. The school accept me. I gonna go, man. Opportunities don't come every day. When opportunities knock on your door, Mr. Earl, open the door. Because you don't get these opportunities regularly. When it comes along, take it. I said, listen, man, I have everything here, man. Why are you telling me I cannot go? You telling me that's for? I said, I gonna leave. With leave of absence or without it. By the time it will be on the 4th of September at school, on campus, I will be there. So he told me, well, if you leave, I'm going to have a problem. I said, I don't know what problem you're going to have, but I'm leaving. He said, you're going to take that risk? You know that you leave, I'm going to have to ask them the space become empty, right? So I had to put somebody else in there. So I'm going to have to ask them to...
Dominate.
Yes, get rid of you, like fire.
Yeah.
I said, you do what you have to do, but I'm going. I believe I could do it. He said, well, if you believe you could do it, you go ahead. I do what I have to do. We had a little bit, discussion that was not so nice, which I don't advise nobody to do. Because I went into a rage, because...
I can imagine because Boncampo was quite a cool in a way.
Yes. I said, man, I gonna have to go. I don't know what you're gonna do right now, but I'm gonna go. And that's how I left anyway. So now I don't have no leave of absence. And he said what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
He sent about 6, 7 letters. I find it out later to the minister in Curacao, asked for my nice word, fire. Because I just left and gone to the school and they don't know where I am and blah, blah, blah. After 2 years, luck again, I guess. I think in life you gotta have some lucks.
Yeah.
I was nominated for the School of Engineering as one of the most dedicated students. And they put me in the National Dean List of the United States. I have a book about it, where they have my picture and a little bit about where I come from, etc., etc. And I sent that. I have now to be fired, right? So I sent that, my results, to the minister to fight that firing stuff. Tell him I go in school, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for nothing. I'm not here for. So I let the school send my results, my GPAs, and all my stuff to the minister in Curacao. So now you have the firing letter from Ben Camper and you have the school results. Which one do you go as a minister? I put you in the spot.
Yeah.
You have the firing letters here, about 6 of them, because it takes a long time for them to react on those letters. And you have the GPA from the school.
You recall who was minister at that time? The communication?
Chance came after. That was DePaula.
Oh, DePaula, okay.
Yes. If I remember good, no mistake, it was DePaula. And he sent me leave of absence, but to the kracht. You know, you go back to September 1990, we was in 92.
Yeah, so retracted.
Retracted. Yes. So he tell me, and then to be repeated until I finish. Good. That's how I got my leave of absence anyway.
Wow. you're really determined, man.
Once I said, like I said, once you things like this happen in your life, take advantage of it.
I want to ask you to hold it there for a while. Hold the thought, all right? Because I have to go to a break in case you've just joined us. You're watching Speaking of Everything on YouTube and Facebook, or you're listening to us on Hot 99.9 FM radio. My guest is a very dynamic person and determined gentleman, Mr. Davalar. He's been here many times before, and it's like, just listen to your story, man. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it's your determination to really make it. It's just unbelievable. You don't find that too often, right? So I tell you what, Mr. Davalar, we're gonna go to that break, then we're gonna come right back, right here on Hot 99.9 FM radio. Please stay with us.
We are vibrant, expressive, warm, and diverse. Together, we conquer, and now we expand into new horizons, giving you more of the best. Introducing our new Banco Matico Plus with wider acceptance, purchase protection, and enhanced security. Whether you're online, traveling, or in paradise, experience more with Windward Island Bank. Banco Matico Plus. More of the best.
In case you just joined us, you're watching Speaking of Everything. I'm Earl Gibbs, and we're on Facebook, YouTube, and on Hot 99.9 FM radio. My guest is Mr. Ivan Davalar. We're here speaking with him. The last time we did an interview with him was back in the 90s. Now reminiscing. He's a much more younger man now, retired and doing a lot of things still. So let's go back to Savannah, Georgia, because you was there. You did your 4 years at
Savannah State University, yes.
So what happened? Did you get offers to work there, or you decided to just come back to your old job?
I always wanted to come back. That's number one. That was my doing. I even when during vacation times, I come back St. Martin, you know, and at the university after I became the national dean list, I was chosen one of the dedicated students in the engineering department. The dean gave me, he said, what about, we need a guy in the math lab, because once I reach and I see what I need was the algebra, the wiskunde, I joined that.
Yeah.
I hogged that up. I say, well, for me to get through here, I need that. And I see the Americans, they have a lot of problems with the algebra. I could see that. They said, we need a guy in the math lab. Would you like to apply for that job? You know, you'd be tutoring in the math lab, you know, helping the others with Apple, with the math. I said, yeah, man. I could do that. Yeah, I do things, but I don't know what my mind is telling, but I just go ahead.
Yeah.
I said, I could do that, man. So that's how I got a permanent job in a math lab. And this not too short, but I was the only guy that making $5 an hour as a student in that school at that time.
That was
so they used to pay $4.25.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that was making $5 because I got a job in the math lab. That was another help, because every day you're busy with the same thing over and over and again. It gets into your mind that you become so easy with it that, and like when I took the physics, natuurkunde, when I took the physics because there you only met doctors, and everybody that teach you there will be a doctor in their field. And this guy used to put me out of the class without finals.
Yes, the what?
Put me out of the class, tell me, okay, Ivan, I think you're ready to go, you know, so you could go ahead. there's no finals for you.
Uh,
Because he gives you 6 tests
right.
during the trimester. No?
Yeah.
If you make about 550 in those tests, he tell you, no, man, I don't need no final for you. You go ahead. So before I took him, they told me it was an Indian guy, older guy, and I don't remember his name correctly. His name was a long Indian name. And in 150 students in the class, this guy flunked at least 100. He was one of the hardest guy, and when it comes to physics, man, and they tell me don't take him. Because they tell you don't take that one, man.
That's how it is in America. Eh?
Yeah.
All the students start to speak among themselves, which professor to take, which one to avoid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say, don't take he. I said, man, they look like a child. I love them. I have ambitions, man. I said, man, I'm going to take him anyway, man.
How to know?
When I took him the first time, I said, no, man, this guy ain't easy. Because out of 100, I got a 23. I said, oh, God, man, they told me to stay away from this guy.
Wicked.
But then I went back home and I saw what he does do. I see that this guy, he's whatever he give you, is going to be on the test. I said, man, I got to study this guy. Because whatever he give up in the class,
It's on the...
you finish chapter 1, he take about 25 questions, he do them. And down the test, I see they'll bring them back. You know,
That's easy, man.
I say, man, this guy, that's why he's a flunk, because if you go study all the things he don't give, you're not gonna make it. So that's how I got through with him.
But that did he love what he was doing as a...
Oh man,
The reason why I asked that question, I had a professor called Cutler, math professor, man, and this guy just loved what he did. So even if he didn't like it, you end up liking it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I took him, and that was good. And for my math classes, I used to be great, man. I was good at that.
So you made it true.
Yeah, make it true. My English, like I said from the beginning, my English was the for my C. That's the only class I got C for. But I was happy.
That's not a big issue because a lot of students go through that. The foreign students have that
Yes.
problem. Yeah. So
before you get your degree, they give you like we call it state exam.
Yeah.
And there you be by yourself for you to read and comprehensive. And that's for, at least they got, before you get your degree, to make sure that you could read and write, like, for example, essay. And in English, I was glad when I got through with that one because that was my main problem.
But they made it through.
Yes.
So because of time, I gotta move up a little bit. So what year did you come back to St. Martin?
I came in 95.
95.
Just before May, I finished.
And how was it was it Lancer Radio still?
Yes.
Okay.
I went there.
So because afterward it became TLM, right?
Yes. TLM was always there. TLM always belongs to the island government.
Right.
And Lancer used to run TLM for the island government.
But then it was transition. Everything was passed over later on to the government of St. Martin.
TLM took over. Was 96.
So just after you came back a year too. Okay.
Came back was not a problem. Because when you come back now, they're gonna tell you, listen, man, first they asked me for my degree, a copy of my degree and my personalized your GPAs.
Yeah.
And I think they sent it with FedEx to Curacao, man. Because it was unbelievable.
Mm.
You know, somebody started washing cars, go to the storeroom, started educating himself, and now he come with a degree. So they sent it to Curacao. Santa Rosa used to be the main education department from the central government. At that time we still had the central government. And they sent that there to be checked.
Because they didn't believe it, right?
Nobody won't believe that, but that's what happened.
It wasn't you alone. In those days, right, all of us that went to America to study that came back, there was this attitude on the island that if you studied in America, that you didn't. Yeah, you wasn't really that smart. You bought your degree, those kind of things.
Yes, you Xerox it.
Right. Yeah.
I know a few people here that these days you Xerox, yes. And he tell me give him a copy. I say okay. I give it to them. And he tell me give me 2 weeks for me to arrange things so you could start back to work. I say listen man, I got 4 years. I ain't give my children nothing. I come back now. I'm ready to work. So when can I start? He said, no, you have to go. We have to send you documents and you stuff to Curacao, and then they will handle that. And then check me back in the next 2 weeks. In 2 weeks was 3 months.
Oh, 'cause I was saying 2 weeks is fast. It normally takes very long to
Very long,
evaluate your
yes.
degree. Yeah.
3 months it took me to get back. That time, Lewis came.
Hurricane Lewis.
Yes.
Wow. And then we were devastated.
Yes. And while I was trying to, I home 3 months, and I keep begging for get back to work because I have a degree now, and I feel like I want to do things because I know I had a scholarship, so you got to give back some. You can't decide, well, I got my degree now, thank you very much, and I'm gone. No, I want to do things. So he tell me give him. I stay out there 3 months, and then I think it was Chance. Yes.
Leo Chance
Leo
was
Chance,
minister
yes.
then. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him, and he told me, well, how come you start to work here? I said, yeah, because at the time I have to wait for my document. He said, man, you know what? Why don't you Monday morning get up and go see the director by Dance Radio?
And
That
what
time,
year
Dance
was
Radio. That was 95.
And at that time, Matthias Bogas was acting lieutenant governor.
Yes.
The same man that helped you at the Milton Peters College.
That's right. And I went by Dan Romley. Romley was used to be he was the director then. Dan Romley deceased. Rest in peace. And he say, I got a call from Chance, and he told me to put you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you to this different technical department, like where the PSTN is, where the phone start with the phone, where you got your number. I'm going to send you the transmission. I'm going to send you the earth station, and you go around there and see which one that you prefer or you like.
Yeah.
And then I will fit you into that. That's how I start on after Lewis. I think a week after.
Yeah.
I started to work back with Dance Radio.
That was a tough time, huh?
Yes.
And just after Lewis. In case you've just joined us, this is Speaking of Everything on Hot 99.9 FM radio, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm speaking with Mr. Ivan De Valera. The last time we did an interview was back in the 90s. He's back here on the show to speak about a little reminiscent of what he went through. He was quite a determined man, and it's a pleasure to have you. I admire your dedication. You remind me of myself and my struggles when I had to leave St. Martin, because unlike you, I couldn't get a scholarship for political reasons. So I had to pay myself through college, and then I came back, and then later on I got a partial scholarship from the federal government after I did a test at the Milton Peters College. I had some difficulties too, so don't worry. I can understand.
But you were determined. That's the important part.
Right. That's the most important thing.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
But when you came back to Lance Radio at the time, you were more advanced than many of the guys that you left there.
Oh yes. I thought they would hawk me up and say, "Man, welcome back. Great job." It wasn't like that. Happiness is something that man can control. You know? They say happiness have no reason. Jealousy does.
The guys that love you now hate you.
So I started in there, and I went. I went into the PSTN, which is the switch we call it. It's where you form your good number start, where I program your number and contact the switches that talk to each other. They don't need you. Yeah. They was all connected, and we had two digital. And when I came back, we had two digital PSTN and the switch, phone switch, and the rest was from Siemens and now from Philips. But the digital one, they're interesting because when I was in school, and we started with this digital stuff, and I learned about this 1 and 0. And I started writing 8, like 1,000, binary and octal. So I fell in love with that. So, because you could build circuits with different circuits as you please in digital, and using the different, we had something we call, not slots, but we call them doors. The OR gate and the non-gate and all those things that you could build a circuit from that. I get very interested in that because they changed the whole program now. Tell you, listen, man, your computer or your calculator don't know what it's for. It knows what's 0, 1, 0, 0. So either you're on or you're off. So when you're on is 1. When you're off is 0. We don't deal with no numbers.
No analog.
Yes. And when during the time that they put me to let me run through all these departments, I met a guy there I see a guy, he always in the switching department, older guy. And I went by him, I said, well, sir, what you doing here, man? Every day I see you sitting here. He said, well, the company sent me here to check the machines that we do, that you guys have in operation right now, and for me to make sure everything is okay after the hurricane and blah, blah, blah.
He was from St. Martin or from
No, from the States.
Oh, okay.
And I here to do that. So I said, here to do that. I say, which machine are you? Because we have Siemens, we have, he said, no, I in the Nortel machines. We have one in Cold Bay, and we have one in Cold Bay, and we have one in Simpson Bay. Yes, Cold Bay at one, and Simpson Bay, yes. I say, how long you been doing this work for this company, Nortel? He said, man, I've been 42 years. I said, you do? I said, well, I want to learn about these machines because in school, you don't get to know what a phone machine is, switch machine, and so on. Why don't you? I want you to assist me. Why don't you teach me how to deal with these machines, man? I like to know.
What was his reaction?
I have a degree in engineering. I understand most of it, but you got 42 years, you say, experience in this thing. Well, I'm going to meet you in Cold Bay tomorrow morning. And you're going to show me how this digital network does function, man, because, I know it's digital, I know all those things, but how the machine is functioning and the commands and learn to read the shell, because them days already, we left from analog thing, now we're dealing with print boards.
Right.
On that board, you find everything, like with TV today, your flat screen, that's all they was able to make flat screen because now you have a board in there.
Exactly.
He tell me, okay, I do that. That man teach me the whole machine, every board in there, what it's for, how they got the power, how they got the trunk in the part, how you program a phone in there, and which card you have to use, and all those things. So he teach me how to even turn off that machine, and how many seconds and how many minutes it take me to put it back on.
And everything could be done also local and remote, or just local?
He was there.
Yeah.
He was there for 6 months, so I took advantage of that because, like I said, when opportunity reach, man, don't let it go, man. Open the door for it. Go in it.
So what happened then? Because we're running against time now. So you got to know everything about the boards and so forth, right? The digital. And what happened? You got a promotion?
I digitized the whole network. I digitized the whole network, the transmission part. I run the project. I did all machines. I put all of them out, and we bring in new ones in digital machines. So I digitized the whole network from Telem. I did I did a few projects for Telem. Some we run all the time.
Yeah.
I did the digitalization of the whole network, new machines. I did 2 projects after that, which I'm very proud of. It was a GSM, TDMA. So the mobile network, I did both of those.
So you did both TDMA
Both.
and GSM?
Yes, sir.
Wow, okay.
I was never interested to be the boss of them. When I finished with them and when I commissioned them, I turned it over to Telcel.
Because America's still on, some networks are still on TDMA.
Yes.
Yeah, but not all of them.
CDMA. They do most CDMA in the States. And I did, when I finished with at the mobile, we went to Texas because Nortel was kind of coming out with that technology. And we went to Texas, I think twice. Because they kept the meetings to let us know how they're going to bring this to the market. And I went there, it was me, Lorenzo Gibbs, it was Patrice Gomes. A few of us went up, and also we had Ne Postal, which was running for Telem for a year here.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I become familiar with TDMA. I did that project, I lead that project, I commissioned it, then I turned it over to Telcel to become public.
But GSM is much better than TDMA.
I had loved that one.
Yeah.
GSM was a much more an experience for me than TDMA.
Yeah.
Because when I finished with the GSM, we was ready to go public. I find out that the frequency we choose on the band, we had radio stations in it. 99 was one of them. Eddie Williams.
Yeah. So there was
It was a lot
that
of fun.
frequency.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had to remove the radio station out of that band for me to avoid interruptions.
Yeah.
So I dealt with PG82. That was one of them I had to remove. I removed 101 from Kati.
Oh.
Yes.
So all the stations had to go up.
Yes.
that.
99.9 was I did with Eddie Williams to remove that one too. And the good thing about that they didn't have to pay anything, because once you want to use that band, you have to remove these radio stations out.
Look at how things have changed, because now we own 99.9 FM, and it's fully digital.
Yes.
Technology has changed incredibly.
Those equipment you're using now is I bought them. And I find out that the radio station,
What equipment you say?
I can't remember exactly, but I bought them for them.
So that Telem is using.
No. For me to remove those radio stations, I had to pay for the cost. The cost is yours.
Oh, you mean the cost at that time, the
Yes.
frequency and everything?
So
yeah.
I buy those equipments for them. I buy the equipment for 99.9, I buy the one
But
for
what I'm
one.
telling you, that don't exist anymore. Because we own 99.9
Okay.
FM now.
All right.
And 99.9 FM now is fully digital.
Fully digital.
We were the first digital radio station in Simara.
Okay.
Yeah.
I find out that the frequency that you're going to use to
At that time,
transmission
yeah.
have to be programmed into your equipment before you even get it.
Exactly. All the transmitters, everything needs to be
Yes,
programmed.
that was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
because I did it from the beginning, ordering the equipment, deal with the manufacturers, and when I'm done with that, I commission it and I turn it over to Telcel again.
Yeah. Because what we do right now, we actually have the manufacturer do it in the U.S. or in Italy. We don't do it here. So all the 99.9 FM frequency is the transmitters, antennas, everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how I did that project. I also did a project what we call a landline prepaid. I did that project also while I was there. I did many projects there, and all of them was successful. I had my ups and downs in those.
So what year you left Telem?
2012.
2012? Or you didn't like it anymore? You were tired?
The thing is that they had come with a proposal. If you have 30 years and you want to retire, early retirement, you could have taken. And they give you some other benefits. And once they come up with that, I was ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. I was, 56? And I left. That time I left Telem. When I came to Martin, let me go back. When I came to Martin, I came after really too. I used to be my Alfonso Bladen. Got married to my aunt, my father's sister.
Yeah.
And from then when he retired, they moved back to St. Martin. There was another reason for me to come here, because I was with them all the time. That's how I got into my Aunt Mary of Bladen.
Okay, that's a big family, man.
Yes. And like Ramon Bladen, although it was brother to Alfonso Bladen, that's a part of my family in St. Martin. And when it comes to family part, I did my share also, I could say, because all my children, I made them here.
How many children you have?
10.
Wow, that's a lot, man. Are you doing good?
Yeah, but all of them I see, I say I was lucky with all these guys, and I see them go to school, become somebody today.
And they're all living in St. Martin?
No, I have 3 in the States, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 here. And I have one in the Army of the United States too. That's the 4th one. And all of them, the rest, they are here.
Well, that's amazing, because very few people have 10. Most of us have only 2 or 3.
It was not planned, It was. It happened. But I think that all of them, I see them grow and become somebody.
Anyone took your path in life as an engineer?
Yes, I see. I'm happy. I'm glad of them, because. But the mothers, them, I could say thank you.
Yeah.
They did a great job, because I wasn't into all of that. But the mothers, them, I have very lot of respect, and they did a great job.
Anyone turn out to be an engineer like you?
No, the one they become like teachers and Suleika Davalar, she was the for Dorang lately. Yeah? She was the work in his office, I guess,
Yeah.
advisor. I have a nurse, beautiful girl.
So you're proud of you.
Yes, man, I'm proud of them, man. All I say is thanks to their mothers.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So you're enjoying retirement, you said?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It couldn't happen. When it happened, it couldn't happen before, but it was great.
So now you don't do any kind of work or so forth. You just play
No.
golf and
Play golf, like you said. I don't do none of them things. I just, I become more like a family guy, you know. I attend to the families,
That's nice,
you know,
that's
and
nice.
do those things, but
let me ask you this, and I hope I can have you back sometime on the radio so we can really sit down and continue some of the things we didn't get a chance to speak about on this television show. But when you look at telecommunication, the mobile phone, and the changes, isn't it amazing to
every
see?
day something new come up.
Huh?
Every day, to keep up with this technology today, you better have some good financials because every day somebody come up with some.
It's just amazing.
Yes.
Man. It's beautiful at the same time.
Yes.
I think it's just great.
Like I said, I did like those GSM and those things.
Yeah.
The machine part, good. But now I see my son pick up the phone and show me how many things he's supposed to be able to do. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's because, you know, I remember the old days of telecom and so forth, and Telem, not before the other company you mentioned a while ago before that. What was the name again?
Yeah, Siemens.
No. The
that-
Curacao-owned company at the time that were running it. You had Telem that was locally owned, and the federal government had...
Saytel and Curacao, then
Yeah.
went to UTS. Then they changed to
UTS. But anyway, in the days of making a phone call, you had to go and pay $20 at the counter,
Yes. Go in the booth.
and then go in the booth. The operators there listening to your call, comes in on the phone.
I won't go into
very,
that.
very rude, very rude, and tell you, you only got a minute to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay?
Yeah. Now imagine now, I'm walking with my phone, man, in my hand. I don't need to operator
Anywhere
anymore.
you want.
I can call anywhere at any time. You know, it's just amazing. It's so beautiful. I don't think this generation realize where we have come from a period of time standing in long lines, okay, long,
Wait for a call.
okay, just to make a phone call. To today, you have it in your hand.
Yes.
It's just amazing. You know, and I think you should see it even different than I, because you're right there with all that change take place.
Yes. The telecommunication today it went so far that it got its good and it got its bad. I like the good part.
But you know, I agree with you. But you know, I just felt that it was important just to mention that, because
Yes.
it's also important.
Yes, and I did also while there in it's a job that you will love, because every day is something new. You go to different courses. You learn many things. I changed the signaling of our systems. I digitized that. I went to Miami, took a course, 2 weeks, come back, introduce it here. So many things we that you go through every day. So it gives you like a boost to go to work.
They ever call you and say, you know, Ivan, we need you.
I
we
don't
need
think
some
they'll
help."
ever call me because
Maybe they'll call you after the show. You never know.
and the way the systems are now is very expensive. The communication become a very expensive thing. Nobody don't understand that no cheap item can be bought.
That's true. They're in the millions now.
So
Cisco making all the money.
you manage all these machines that cost millions,
Yeah,
and it's okay.
yeah. Well, you know, Mr. Ivan Davila, it's been a pleasure. I hope we can have you back again on the radio.
Yeah, because we only step a half of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so anything else quickly in closing?
Thanks for inviting me. One. that I could do again. But we just step on the stone. We got a long way to go.
We're going to do some more.
Because we have to do some more.
Well, definitely.
Okay.
Again, after 20 plus years, it's good to have you back again.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thanks again, and all the best to you, Mr.
Like I said, many people had helped me into my, or most of my success, somebody helped me.
Your success story and your path to your success is a very interesting one. Really great. All right?
Because I believe people, if you want to do something, put yourself in it.
Definitely.
All the way, because if you go half-half,
and never give up.
no.
All right, take care. All the best. All right?
Whoever tell you that you cannot do it, believe yourself.
Exactly.
You could.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right.
Right.
And that's it for now on Speaking of Everything on Facebook, YouTube, and on Hot 99.9 FM radio. See you next time. Take care. Bye.
Well.